Hey, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Computer Games Hardware. Today on the channel, we got a massive one for you, folks. We are talking about Alan Wake 2 and my thoughts on it. I've been stuck into the game for quite a few hours now, and I'm really looking forward to discussing this one with you. So let's get stuck into it. First up, straight up at the top, I just want to let you guys know that personally I am a huge Remedy fan. So all the way back to Max Payne on PlayStation, in the classic PlayStation in the old days. I've been on board from the start with Max Payne. I've played all their titles. Quantum Break, Control was amazing, and now we're back here with Alan Wake 2. The original Alan Wake was a really interesting game. The game, it was focused on the game mechanics, and it has this Stephen Kingy vibe to it, story element to it, which really captivated people. So Remedy have really banked on that, and they've took it a step further. That game was more of an action game with this really cool story element to it, but Remedy have smashed through that, and they've given us a survival horror sequel title to Alan Wake. So I won't spoil anything from the original Alan Wake, but the ending left Alan in a situation that picks back up in Alan Wake 2. First off, straight up, I just got to say it's really great to be back into the Alan Wake universe. Things have changed. It looks completely different to what it did. We also had an Alan Wake remaster not too long ago, but there has been a significant step up in the visual fidelity for this game, and it's just made the world really feel like the Alan Wake universe. We also got glimpses of it in previous titles like Control. Remedy have been building up to this sort of shared universe type of gaming experience that I've really enjoyed so far, and Alan Wake 2 just places Remedy at the top of their game. Again, I'm biased because I'm a huge fan and not shy about saying that. I've supported their games for years and years, and I'm really pleased to say that Alan Wake 2 is a masterpiece. Another thing you might be aware of with Alan Wake 2 is you've probably seen news articles and things like that talking about how the PC specs for Alan Wake 2 are no joke, and an element of that is true. It requires a really beefed up rig to support that game in its full visual fidelity. But let me say, I haven't got the most modern PC. It's lagging behind in a couple of years, and this game looks amazing. So even if you don't have the best rig in the world, or you're worried that it's not going to look good on console or anything like that, don't worry, because this is truly a next-gen title. It looks phenomenal, even on low settings. So you can go check out the Digital Foundry check review. I know Hardware Unbox have discussed it a little bit, but this game is doing things that other games aren't doing. It truly is a next-gen title, and I've been blown away by the visual fidelity. So I'm playing on medium high settings, and even settings that I've turned down to absolute low. I'm just blown away by what Remedy have been able to achieve here. So we'll get stuck into how it looks in a moment, but they're obviously doing something. There's even some of the settings when they're low or off, I think they're still utilizing like ray tracing. Even if you've got it turned off, the visual fidelity looks incredible. So even if you have to turn things down to low, it's worth checking this game out. This is a game that I've spent hours and hours and hours in, and I haven't really progressed the story as much as I thought I would, because I'm just looking around in the world, and I'm usually not that sort of person, but this game is exceptional. So as you can see here, this is very early on in the game, so there's no spoilers here. I'll try to avoid spoilers as much as I can, and you can see that we're not playing as Alan Wake, so it is a dual protagonist game, so you playing as a couple of different people. And I don't know if any of you Remedy fans can spot Sam Lake there. Really exciting stuff there, but as you can see, these are like medium to low settings, and you can see that there is just a ton of visual fidelity. The lighting looks fantastic. You can see the speckles in the air, so you can have a look at that. There's smoothing. You can see the lighting and the tracing. Now, I've got FSR 2 on, so you can see some shimmering in this, but small price to pay. For me, I think it looks fantastic. Even in static image, you've got like dust and things permeating through. The controls are really nice and intuitive. There's sort of a real visual style to it. So you can see you jump in and out of different perspectives there, and look at the ground. Look at how the light is passing through. You'll see as I move along, you can see the shadows on everything, and I've got these set to medium or low, so it's really amazing. See, you can see the shadows pathing on the bodies there. It's truly amazing. The graphics on this game look fantastic, and even out in the world we're maintaining a good frame rate and good temperatures on the GPU, because so again, I just want to say, you look at the ray tracing there. You can see the shadows of the buildings in the bit, so that's amazing. And this is set to pretty low, so you can see a bit of an FSR glitch there. But this game just looks incredible. So if you're worried about it not being able to run it, I will say to you, even on low, it looks pretty amazing. Look at our protagonist's hair and the glimmer and of the rays from her hair, and how the shadows are affecting her as she walks through. It is truly a next gen title, and it should be noted, it can't be played on Xbox One or PS4 because it is genuinely a next gen title. So the big takeaway for Alan Wake 2 for me is, personally, it's time to upgrade for me. If this is the standard that Remedy is setting, then we've got some exciting times ahead. So much for the year of too many games. If this is the standard that's being set, I am blown away, and I'm really looking forward to the true next gen of gaming graphics, fidelity, and gameplay. One thing that I really love about Alan Wake 2 is the control feel. So this game controls amazingly. Third person game developers, take note, this is how your characters should feel and move. They feel snappy. They paced at the right pace, so your characters don't feel slow even when they're not running. And this is a game that supports walking slowly through things, investigating things, taking in all the visuals, so it really supports that, and I'm happy to say that it just feels amazing. You play, as we mentioned, dual protagonists in Alan Wake 2, so there's Agent Saga, and Alan Wake, the titular Alan Wake, and they feel different, but they both run amazingly. So you get a good sense of that. And if you have a DualSense controller and you want to play beefed up on your PC, it supports that on Epic Games. So really cool feature, Remedy. Glad you did that. Probably even worth buying a PS5 controller for, even if you're not a PS5 gamer. So well done there. That's really cool. This game is really dark, right up my alley. It's probably not for everyone. So parents, if you're considering, but if you're hearing all the good praise and you're considering buying this for your kids, please reconsider, because this is a dark, gruesome, violent game. Really great for me. Right up my alley, but please don't buy this for young children, because it is a scary game. It's got like jump scares, a real survival horror vibe to it, and like body horror. So it's a really creepy title. I like playing it like late at night when everyone's asleep with the lights off, and just like I have had like literal jump scares. So I love this stuff. This game has got me a couple of times, so be warned that Alan Wake 2 is no joke. You are going to shit your pants. Alright, so I've warned you there. Are you into the real survival horror genre? Let me know in the comments down below. So one of the differences between the original Alan Wake and Alan Wake 2 is the perspective. They've jumped over to a Resident Evil type third person, over the shoulder type POV, but I think it really suits and it really supports the gameplay style, and the control style is just incredible. I wish that Resident Evil felt this intuitive out of the box when you can play it. You know, with changing settings and stuff in a Resi game, you can get to how good Alan Wake 2 controls, but take note, really, it feels really good. My first, when I picked up the control, the first thing that I felt was, I don't even need to go into the settings and change anything. So I was really pleased about that. The other thing is that the dual protagonist system is actually really fun. So it's not one of those things where you can change any time with these characters, but you sort of start off with Saga Anderson and you play through, then you switch over to Alan Wake. I thought that I would want to get straight to playing as Alan Wake, but I quite enjoyed the story and the elements to playing as Agent Saga. And then when I did switch over to Alan Wake, you play through and it's as amazing and intuitive as you expect. And the gameplay feel is a little bit different, but I started to wonder what Saga Anderson, the other protagonist, was doing. And then the game keeps up with you. You get that sense like, I wonder what she's doing, because the story sort of edges you into thinking that. So the sort of tricks you into making you want to switch through to players, and then just at the right time, it gives you just enough to go, okay, it's time to switch over. Let's see what Saga Anderson's doing. So I felt that was really cool. There's a really interesting element in Alan Wake 2 where both protagonists have a sort of, you can call it a side quest things, but Saga Anderson has to investigate these crimes, and Alan Wake is in a position where he has to dictate the story. So you go into your what's traditionally your your map feature, and Saga Anderson has a classical cop investigation board, with the red pins on it, and you have to sort of figure out these crimes and solve things as you go along, and takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get it, it's really fun and you want to work through it. And then Alan Wake has like a storyboard section, so you go into your map feature, and it takes you into a room where you've got to map out the storyboard, and you get to affect change in the story, so you're almost like an active participant in unveiling the story from Alan Wake's part, and those two things can cross over. So what Alan Wake does to progress the story might give Saga Anderson clues onto how to solve some sort of mystery. So that's the basic premise. I don't want to get too much into it because it's really fun to discover and learn how to do, and the controls feel really good to it. It takes a little bit of time to understand, but it's worth putting the time to get through it, because it's sort of like a whole element. You can sort of turn off the normal gameplay and go and get lost in that for 10-15 minutes, and then when you feel like, oh, I'm ready, I feel like I understand the story a little bit better now, and then you can go back and play as Alan and progress through. So I found myself doing that quite a number of times, and it felt really good, and it felt fun to just be lost in that investigation storyboard section of the game. So well done to Remedy for making something like that could have easily been such an annoying part of the game, but making it a feature that you want to tune into. I kind of liken it to Call of Duty's like gun customization thing. You know how sometimes you can go into a COD game and you just want to be trying new things, swapping out new attachments and features and things like that. It's sort of got that vibe to it. You can get lost in the storyboard and investigation sections in this game. So there you have it. Big thumbs up for me. I really enjoy that. So it's sort of got, like, if you think about it, sort of there's really 4 core gameplay elements to it. Saga Anderson has her third person story that you run through. Then they've got this investigation section, and then Alan Wake's got his third person story that you run through, and his storyboarding section. So it really juggles up the gameplay a little bit, and you can get lost in it. So I found that really interesting. So as you can see here, I've got I'm playing with my 6800 XT on medium, and I've got quite a mix of high, medium, and low settings. So one thing I would suggest is your screen space ambient occlusion, your SSAO. Keep that on. It really changes the visual fidelity. But if you're struggling to run with this game, turn off or put on low global reflections or screen space reflections, because they had the biggest hit. There is a significant drop in fidelity in there. I like to keep my my frames over 60 frames per second, but you don't have to. Like, if it drops down to 50, 54, it's fine. This game looks amazing. So it gets better from that. There are some spots where it's more intensive than others, particularly in that wood setting at the start of the game. So play around with your settings. Don't be afraid to turn things down to low, because I'm telling you, this game is doing stuff truly next gen, and it's still going to look better than anything that you've ever seen. So low doesn't necessarily mean bad in this game, same as medium. Turning things down will give you the visual fidelity. It'll still look really amazing, and it'll give you the FPS boost that you need. So play around with those. Shadow details and reflections really have a big impact on this game, but it's worth keeping them on, I should say. The world is just saturated with things to look at. It just feels lived in and gritty and grimy and really interesting. This like hallway is just covered in graffiti and things like that. And as Alan goes through, the character models are really detailed. You can see his hair bouncing back and forth, and it just looks fantastic. You can see the shadow flickering from different colors, and I've just spent hours and hours doing this. I should have progressed in the game so far. I probably could have clocked it by now, but I've just been sitting here watching different types of shimmers and reflections on the walls and stuff. Alan Wake is truly a masterpiece in that. Another thing that should be celebrated in Alan Wake 2 is the voice cast, the acting, and the screen capture is at the top of its game. Nobody does it better than Remedy. And in this game, we've got Alan Wake, played by Matthew Peretta, who is just on point with that Stephen King-y vibe. He's telling the story to you as you go along as the titular Alan Wake, and it really gives you a great creepy vibe as he navigates this universe. It's fantastic, amazing performance. There's also Saga Anderson is played by Melanie Libbard. She's been in This Is Us and The Idol. She's really fantastic. You've also got Shawn Ashmore, so Iceman from X-Men, who was the lead character in Quantum Break, is back here playing a different character. The voice cast is all amazing. There's some familiar faces, and let's not forget James McCaffrey, the voice of Max Payne, is back with the likeness of Max Payne. Sam Lake playing another different character, another FBI agent that plays into the Alan Wake universe, while winking and nodding to Max Payne, which I believe they don't have, the Remedy doesn't have the rights for at the moment, but they are producing remakes of Max Payne 1 and 2. So I truly hope that they can do something with Max Payne. So those rights to Max Payne are with Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar, unfortunately, but Remedy are doing the remakes of Max Payne 1 and 2, which I believe is going to be a single game. So that is pretty exciting. I hope they can come to an agreement with Take-Two to be able to use their original characters, because you might recall that Sam Lake and James McCaffrey were the guys who played the original Max Payne, and hopefully they can get even the Quantum Break rights from Microsoft to really make this a complete universe, because I think those elements all tie in really nice together. So Microsoft, Take-Two, look at his face, please. There's a couple of things that have bugged me a little bit of Alan Wake 2, so it's not just gushing praise on my end here, but one of them, and I'm just gonna call Epic out for this straight away, that the worst thing about Alan Wake 2 is the Epic achievements. They come up, they're obnoxious, they're loud, and they take you right out of the gameplay experience. Epic, please take note. Look at what Steam's doing. Make that less obnoxious with your achievements. It's just embarrassing. And the other thing is that Alan Wake can look a bit funny in certain situations, like climbing ladders and things like that. Can look a bit goofy at times. Not a huge deal breaker, but when you're walking the streets with your flashlight and you're looking around, it looks truly amazing. And then he climbs up a ladder and you go, oh, that looks a bit goofy. So there can be a little bit of improvement there, but for me, Alan Wake 2 has been a truly amazing experience. fully next gen title, and I can't wait to play through it and discover it more. We might even do some live streaming of Alan Wake 2 here on Computer Games Hardware, so get subscribed to check that out. I'll put out a message over YouTube and our socials to get you guys involved if you want to join me in playing some Alan Wake 2. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching. Are you playing Alan Wake 2? Comes highly recommended from me. I can't recommend it highly enough. Truly amazing experience. The next gen is here, guys. So if you're on the fence about Alan Wake, it comes highly recommended from me. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing. You can also help us out by, if you're buying anything on Amazon, we've got some affiliate links down below, so please consider using those. It'd really help me out. Thanks very much. But I've really enjoyed making this one, guys. I'll keep making them if you keep watching them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.